everybody, it's Annette with the Art of Intuition, and I'm here today to talk about fear. It's funny, this is not really what I plan on talking about, but every time I start a video, I say I want to talk about fear. So that's, I guess, what we're going to talk about, and funny, I'm getting a lot of the colors in the background today, so bear with me. It's yellow, it's bright, it's white, it's everywhere. Okay, fear. One thing to remember about the energy of fear is always a discordant frequency in our body. Our body is trying to clear it out. The more we activate our soul, the more we activate the divinity, really, which is us, the soul part of us, we start releasing fear. A lot of people will say they have really bad anxiety. They have really bad anxiety because they're trying to release the fear. As your soul activates, it starts moving through your body and breaking up distortions that are not what the soul represents, which is really love, freedom, magnificence, magic. It's kind of unconditional love. That's kind of when we operate from our soul aspects, the higher aspects of us, that's what it is. It's just this beautiful, powerful, sovereign being place. And fear really has no place there. So the more you open up, you're going to find that you might have a lot of fear coming up. So remember to breathe through the fear and switch your focus of the fear. Like, what is the fear? It's really just something discordant leaving the body. It's nothing to be afraid of. It's actually very beautiful when this stuff comes up to go. Because when it comes up to go, it's no longer going to be in the way. A lot of times these things keep our vibrational frequency at a certain level. We're so afraid to burst through and go through to the next phase of our life, the next phase of our journey, that fear kind of keeps us, I want to say stuck, but it's kind of the word that comes to mind. It keeps us stuck. It keeps us in one plane because we're so afraid. You know how many times I hear people say, I'm just so afraid. I don't care what it is. Leaving a partner, leaving a job, having people understand things about them they never told people. They're just afraid. Fear is one of the biggest programs we run. We're afraid of everything. Our human aspect is afraid of everything. Don't be afraid. Let the fear come up. Let the fear leave your body. A lot of people say the same thing about pain. It's just discordant frequencies leaving the body. Pain causes fear, and then we get in a loop. Embrace the pain. If something comes up and it's painful, embrace the pain, feel it, and let it go. Now, how do you know when you've let it go? Because you love every part of it. No matter how difficult some things were in your life, love every part of what happened, knowing it happened perfectly, exactly the way it was supposed to happen. There was nothing you could have done different. It was perfect. In that time of your life, in that moment of your consciousness, it was perfect. You love the whole thing. You resolve the whole thing within, so then you don't have any more fear about it. You don't even regret about it. So remember, fear is nothing to be afraid of. Breathe through the fear and know that the biggest fears we have block us from the biggest gains we can get. It always does. The thing you're the most afraid of, if you are no longer afraid of it, there's no reason to experience it. Fear triggers the realities to happen. If you're afraid of something, it can trigger it to happen. Because the whole point is not to be afraid of anything, to bust through your fear. So if you're really afraid of it, you just activate the reality because you're too afraid of it. Don't be afraid. Go into it. Resolve it. Just as I said before, resolve the whole thing within you and go, okay. Get to a place where if you take your biggest fear, no matter what it is, some people would say it's getting sick, some people would say it's losing a partner, whatever it is, take the biggest fear you have and work through, break it down. Get to the point where you can say, okay, if that happens, it happens. And it's okay. You'll be surprised how fast, when you start looking at some of these fears, how ridiculous they can be, and how once you get okay with the fear, the whole program loses power over you. Because there's really nothing to be afraid of. That's always the point. Embracing your fear. Looking at what you're afraid of. I always tell people to say it out loud. Because when we say our worst fears out loud, they are kind of ridiculous and you kind of have to laugh. And it's like, well, that's just silly. I mean, that's not even real. I mean, I can't believe I just really thought that, or I was afraid of that. Like if you lose a job, you might be afraid, no one will ever hire me again. I'm going to lose all my money. Really? No, you're not. If I lose this person, I'll never be with anyone else again. No one will love me again. Really? No, you won't. Say it out loud. Work through the fear. Don't trigger the realities. Fear, experiencing the fear, seeing it there. When someone triggers fear, embrace that too, because it's leaving your body. Sometimes we don't even know what fear is there until we're faced with it, and then we're like, I gotta look at it. Don't push the fear back down. Examine the fear. Be happy. Feel grateful when it comes up, because you can get it out of your body. You can work through it. We can't work through things we don't see are there. A lot of times we might know we're avoiding something, because avoidance and fear kind of go hand in hand. We're avoiding it, we're avoiding it, we're avoiding it. We fear it, we fear it, we fear it. And then when it happens, we're like, oh, I knew it was going to happen because I kept avoiding it. I knew it was going to happen because I was afraid of it. Don't trigger the realities of fear. Okay, there's my fear video. I wish everyone the most amazing spaces and places, and keep practicing the art of intuition.